And we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Hello,
Hi guys.
everybody.
Hi Dan, how are you?
Great, Cat. How you doing?
Good. It's been a
Good.
week.
It has been a week. It's been quite a week. So
Yes.
here we
Yes.
are.
Okay. So
We're
should
going to
we
talk
dive?
about, we got three things to talk about today, right?
Yes.
We're going to talk about, let's start off with stats by Cat. Then we're going to go into some really compelling data that you've researched on offer review dates. And then thirdly, for those people that don't want to spend a lot of money over asking price, we've got winning strategies for you folks that are, maybe a little bit, strapped for money. Maybe you don't have a huge down payment, you don't have a lot of money that you can offer on the shiny object. So we're going to look at winning strategies on how to win the deal for folks that really can't, pony up
Oh,
tons and tons of
right. We're going
money,
to look
right?
at how if people don't want to compete, right?
Yep.
Because that's a real hot spot for a lot of buyers. They do not want to compete. Then we'll give you strategies on how to not have to compete. And then if you do like the shiny new objects that are coming on the market, the new listings, then we're going to give you ways to win, either in competitions or we're going to also talk about compelling offers. So anyway,
You
so yeah, we're going
you put this so much nicer than I do. That's all I can say. So much nicer. So let's start off. Stats by
okay,
Cat.
here we
King
go.
County, right? There
We're
we go.
diving right into King County. So here we go. So let's see, what do we got? So 53% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between January 12th and January 18th. 66% of sellers got under contract within the first, is that right? Yeah. 66% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if their home was listed between December 29th and January 11th. 46% of sellers did set offer review dates. 28% of homes sold over asking price in the last 30 days of solds. And King County is at 1.2 months supply of inventory. Okay. Moving right along to Snohomish County.
Your neck of the woods.
That's right. I live in Clearview in Snohomish County. My office is in King County. Anyway, so 47% of sellers that listed their home between January 12th and January 18th got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. 66% of sellers that listed their home between December 29th and January 11th got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. 39% of sellers in Snohomish County set offer review dates. 30% of listings sold for over asking price for the last 30 days of closed sales. And Snohomish County is down to 0.9 months supply of inventory. So that's a really tight market in Snohomish County. That's really probably tight. The lowest it's been in quite some time.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along to Pierce. Here we go. Pierce County. 34% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between January 12th and January 18th. 52% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between December 29th and January 11th. 17% of sellers in Pierce County set offer review dates. 29% of closed sales had sales prices over asking price in Pierce County. And Pierce County has 1.3 months supply of inventory. Moving right along to Mason County. So this information is really helpful for sellers to try to figure out, how long they should be on the market and where to, you really should be getting off the market fairly quickly in Snohomish and King counties for sure. All right, Mason County. 21% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between January 12th and January 18th. 50% of sellers in Mason County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between December 29th and January 11th. 17% of sellers set offer review dates in Mason County. 38% of listings sold for over asking price in Mason County for the last 30 days of sold listings. Mr. Fat Tuesday. Mason County has 2.3 months. Mason County has 2.3 months supply of inventory. Say that quickly. Get a little background noise there. That's Mr. Fat Tuesday. Skagit County, Dan?
Skagit County, yes. Here we go.
Okay, Skagit County. 58% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market in Skagit County if they listed their home between January 12th and January 18th. That's a big number for Skagit County. 48% of sellers got under contract within the first 2 weeks on the market if they listed their home between December 29th and January 11th. Only 8% of sellers set offer review dates. That's something we might want to talk about for Skagit County. More of you might want to do that. 15% of listings sold for over asking price for the last 30 days of solds. And Skagit County is down to 1.3 months supply of inventory, and that's pretty low for Skagit County recently. So their inventory is getting chewed up. So Skagit County got a good market going on. Moving along to Kitsap County. 36% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between January 18th and January, if they listed their home between January 12th and January 18th. 51% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between December 29th and January 11th in Kitsap County. 19% of sellers set offer review dates. 19% of listings sold for over asking price for the last 30 days of solds in Kitsap County. And Kitsap County is down to 1.1 months supply of inventory. So their inventory had been going up and is now contracting. And it's pretty low at 1.1 months. So that's the 6 counties that we covered.
Tell you what, things look like they're tightening up. They really do.
So yeah, a lot of the month supply of inventory is actually coming down. Hi guys. Hey, ask me real estate questions. Do you guys have any questions for me? Feel free to shoot them over. I can see my TikTok screen. And sorry, Facebook and YouTube. I think you have to ask Dan the question.
Dan will get up from his napping bed and he'll answer the questions for you.
Okay. So what are we going to do next? Are we going to talk about
offer review dates? Yes.
Offer review dates. That's this pile over here. Okay. All right. So what I did is I took a look at listings that went on the market January 19th to January 25th in King County, and I put them in 2 carts. So the first cart had listings that the sellers had set an offer review date. The other cart had listings that did not set an offer review date, and they were going to review offers upon receipt. So for King County, these are the results. And this is for listings that went on the market January 19th to January 25th. This is very, very recent data. Is that right? Yeah, 19th to the 25th. So 80% of the listings that had an offer review date are now under contract. So under contract by their offer review date or 1 day later. So considering they may be reviewing offers and it might take a while to get mutual acceptance. He's trying to bowl serve. All right. So there's only 19% of those only 19% of those sellers still on the market if they had set an offer review date. So again, with 80% being under contract already, that's a huge number. So and 14% of those sellers that set offer review dates did receive an early compelling offer. So 14%. So that's a lot. And then let's see. Yeah, so that's it for that. And then for those people that did not set an offer review date, they were going to review offers upon receipt. We've got 43% of those under contract right now. So much smaller percentage. As you can see, 80% of the ones that set offer review dates are under contract, and only 43% are under contract of those that are reviewed offers upon receipt in King County. 55% of those are still on the market active. So that's the King County numbers. So for sellers in King County, if you have the shiny object, if you have a property that does not have any inherent challenges, then you want to go ahead and set that offer review date. A lot of buyers out there make an offer.
It kind of goes hand in glove with the stats that we just pulled, or that we just showed, is that we're showing a tight market. And when you have a tight market, the offer review dates are going to be successful for the most part. That's right.
That's right. And so when you don't want to set an offer review date is when you have some inherent challenges, like not a typical floor plan, an obsolete floor plan or functionally obsolete floor plan, or you've got some inherent challenges with location, whether it's, you've got a steep driveway up or down. You may not want to set an offer review date. If the house is particularly dated and might experience challenges because of that, you might not want to set an offer review date. So you do have to consider the market that you're in. So you also want to check your price range. Have your realtor, or if you are a realtor, check the price range, right? So if you've got a listing coming on at 1.2, you're going to look at listings from 1 million to 1.5, and you're going to make sure that a good percentage of those sellers are actually setting offer review dates. If they are not, you probably do not want to move forward with an offer review date. So, and that pertains to all price points and also style of home, right? So consider the style of home. I think that almost every Rambler could set an offer review date right now and get away with it and potentially get more than one offer. But there could be other floor plans where that maybe is not the case. So definitely worth, again, checking with similar style homes to make sure that you're not the only one setting an offer review date. If you are, then buyers may pass you by that first week, and it may cost you a whole week on the market. So anyway, that's offer review dates for King County. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Let's talk Snohomish.
Yeah, let's talk about Snohomish County, you guys. So Snohomish County did the same thing. I looked at listings that went on the market between January 19th and January 25th of 2025. And I put the listings that had set offer review dates in one cart. And I put the listings that were going to review offers upon receipt into a second cart. And then I ran the analytics on those and took a look at what percentage got under contract within their offer review date. In Snohomish County, 80% of sellers that set offer review dates are now under contract. Most of their offer review dates ran from Monday through this past Thursday. And so we know now whether they made their offer review date or not. 80%. Shocking. Again, wow. 20% are still on the market. So 20% are active. So of the ones in Snohomish County that did not set an offer review date and they reviewed offers upon receipt, we've got only 49% of those under contract. Thank you for the hearts, guys. 42% of those listings are still on the market, actively still on the market. So in Snohomish County, you guys, if you're a seller or you're a listing agent, it is a good idea to go ahead and set an offer review date. When I actually called or texted every single broker that set an offer review date last week to see if they got multiple offers. And I will tell you that a lot of them got 10, 11, 13 offers. One of the homes in Edmonds went almost $200,000 over asking price.
Ooh.
And I got to tell you, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And everybody's waiving everything. You don't have to do that, though. Stay tuned.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. So you have to listen to me. Don't waive everything. That's crazy. Don't do it. All right. So, but that's Snohomish County. So sellers should be setting offer review dates in Snohomish County if they do not have any inherent challenges, regarding location, the layout of the land, functionally obsolete floor plan or something like that. Most sellers should be setting offer review dates in Snohomish County.
Okay. Go to Pierce.
My opinion only, guys. Cat Howard, Windermere, Woodinville. Okay. So I also pulled the same statistics for Pierce County. So for Pierce County, we looked at the effectiveness of offer review dates, and pulled all the listings that came on the market between January 19th and January 25th, and I put the ones where the sellers had set an offer review date in one cart, and I put the other listings that did not set an offer review date in a second cart, and then I analyzed the data for both sets of listings. And so this is what we found. 61% of the sellers in Pierce County that set offer review dates are now under contract. So that's over half. That's a good number. It really is. But you have to be in Pierce County, you got to be really, really sure that you should set an offer review date. So 30% of the listings in that category are still on the market. So let's see. And then if the seller just decided to review offers upon receipt, we've got 40% of them under contract right now. So still a higher percentage are under contract if they set an offer review date, which leads me to believe that maybe setting an offer review date in Pierce County is a good idea, although not very many sellers are setting offer review dates in King County. Or sorry, in Pierce County.
Pierce County, right.
Yeah. And 60% of that cart, the ones that are reviewing offers upon receipt, are still actively on the market. So it still looks to me like it might be a good idea to take a look at the market in Pierce County, have your broker run the numbers, make sure that other homes in your category, whether it's price or home style or location, that other sellers are setting offer review dates. If there are not, then don't do it in Pierce County. Okay, that's offer review dates in Pierce County. You want to talk about Kitsap?
Let's go to Kitsap.
Okay. All right. So in Kitsap County, I took a look at the effectiveness of setting an offer review date in Kitsap County and for listings that came on the market between January 19th and January 25th. So I put all the sellers and listings that had set offer review dates into one cart, and I put all the listings that were going to review offers upon receipt into a second cart, and then we analyzed the data for both groups of listings. And this is what we found. 57% of sellers that set offer review dates in Kitsap County are now under contract. They made their offer review date. So in that group, 57% made their offer review date. So 43% are still actively on the market of sellers that set offer review dates. For those that did not set an offer review date and decided to review offers upon receipt, we have 33% that are under contract. And consequently, we have 67% that are still on the market. So it still looks like in Kitsap County that you could set an offer review date. I think it might come down to style of home. Ramblers, probably pretty safe to set an offer review date, but you want to make sure that you don't have any real inherent challenges like an obsolete floor plan or extremely dated, steep driveway, things like that. So for Kitsap County. So that's my opinion. Cat Howard, Windermere, Woodinville. And if you have any loan questions, call Dan Mellis. He's with Nexa Mortgage, and he has been giving my clients screaming interest rates for the last couple of years. Call him.
Right now, they're screaming in pain.
What's that?
I said right now, they're screaming in pain.
Well,
but they're coming down. That's the good news.
We have no control over the general placement or where the interest rates are, right now. However, you might have to call around to a couple lenders to find a better rate, right? So rates are going to vary between lenders, and Dan Mellis does a good job. So.
Well, thank you very much, Kat. I appreciate that. Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. So let's see. So we talked about the effectiveness of offer review dates, kind of flying through this. I don't know how far we are in here, but I think
we're doing great. We're doing fantastic.
Okay, good. So let's start. Let's talk about. Hi guys, ask me real estate questions on TikTok. go ahead and shoot me questions. I'll answer anything that you ask me. At least I'll try to within reason. Anyway, I work in Snohomish County, Washington, and King County, Washington. That's the Puget Sound area. So if you guys are tuning in somewhere else, Dan also works in King County and Snohomish County and Pierce. You can do lending in most of Washington State. So I want to go over what it looks like for buyers that do not want to compete, because we are seeing a lot more offer review dates, and that almost necessarily indicates that the broker and the seller are expecting multiple offers. So right now we have less than half the sellers setting offer review dates. So there are opportunities to take a look at properties that are not necessarily going to have competition. So you can always take a look at the ones that have not set offer review dates. That's one strategy. Another strategy would be to take a look at listings that have been on the market 30 or 60 days or longer, right? So I've got some percentages of what that percentage of listings that are on the market over 60 days in the various counties. So in King County, 41% of the listings that are available today on the market are on the market over 60 days. Those sellers are going to be motivated. You're going to be able to negotiate fairly normally. And so take a look at those if you don't want to compete. Or again, take a look at the listings that have not set offer review dates. That's another way. You might still end up competing if more than one person is interested, though. So in Snohomish County, we've got 40% of listings have been on the market greater than 60 days. In Pierce County, it's 48% of listings have been on the market over 60 days. Mason County takes the cake. 56% of their listings have been on the market over 60 days. Again, this is the strategy. You can look at those listings if you're looking at more of a normal negotiation on price, able to have an inspection, keep your financing and contingency in play. Skagit County actually takes the cake. Skagit, 57% of the listings in Skagit County have been on the market over 60 days. I have a feeling that's going to switch very quickly since their inventory is getting pretty low. So, but a good place to look for listings and sellers that might be willing to negotiate. Kitsap County, very similar to Snohomish and King County. They're only 41% of their listings are on the market over 60 days, but that's 74 listings that have been on the market over 60 days in Kitsap County out of 179 that are currently on the market. So still quite a few homes to take a look at. Not all of those are going to have inherent challenges that you're not going to like. So it's definitely worth taking a look at listings that have been on the market a little longer. So that's one thing I wanted to go over. And then I want to also talk about other ways to give yourself an advantage, right? So one way would be to submit a compelling offer. Let's say a new home came on the market and you have to have it. It's a horse property. It's got a covered arena. It's below 1.5 and you can afford it. And so one thing you can do if that seller has set an offer review date is go ahead and submit a compelling offer. So what a compelling offer looks like, you're coming in over asking price, right? Because you're asking the seller to forego looking at all the other offers they might receive on the offer review date. You have to come in over asking price. Could be 5 or 8% over right now, Snohomish County market. Another thing you could do is you're going to keep your financing in play. Hopefully the seller's provided you with an inspection report. If they have not, you're going to go ahead and have an inspection before you submit that compelling offer. So you're going to get an inspector in there right away. And so hopefully, the next morning. So you've hopefully seen it the first day on the market and you get your inspector out there 9 a.m. the next morning, and then you're submitting your compelling offer by 3 o'clock the next day and giving the seller that evening to take a look at it and make a decision. So some of the other things you can do is you can get fully underwritten. That's probably one of the biggest keys in getting an offer accepted early, because being fully underwritten means you are through underwriting. So all your documentation has been verified, your credit's been verified. And so it looks to the seller like you're just like cash. The only thing the lender is going to need at that point is an appraisal, homeowner insurance, and get through title and escrow, right? Just the other things required. Everything regarding you should be done. So the underwriters have already fully vetted you. And so that looks almost the same as cash to a seller. So getting fully underwritten is a big deal. Let's see. You can throw in, no, you don't need to do that on this one. Let's see here. Hold on. You could, with a compelling offer, you could offer to cover the seller in case of a low appraisal. So let's say you're coming in 5% over asking price. And so the difference between the list price and the asking price is 5%. So you would offer to cover that 5%, whatever that dollar amount is, in case of a low appraisal. And if you do that, you are bringing that, and the appraisal does come in 5% low, you will be bringing that difference to escrow in addition to your down payment and other closing costs. So it does wind up being, if the appraisal does come in low, it does wind up being an extra cost out of pocket up front. So let's see. And then earnest money is another thing we can talk about. So you can come in with a little bit bigger earnest money. It just shows that you're a little more sincere. You are not going to be releasing your earnest money to the seller. Don't do that. But you can give them a big earnest money. The most the seller can take, if you are not able to complete the transaction without legal excuse, so you don't really have a legal excuse to get out of it, but you have to, the most they can take is 5% of the purchase price. So even if you give them a big earnest money, they only get to keep 5%. The rest will be returned to you. So it's a fairly inexpensive way to, unless you're going to lose your earnest money, but it's something that doesn't really cost you money as long as you do complete the transaction. So let's see. And then we talked about inspections already. And under no circumstances do you waive inspection. Never. Under no circumstance do you waive your financing. Ever. And you do not provide non-refundable earnest money to the seller. Don't do it. Not necessary. So that's one. So it's another way, you could write a compelling offer. That would be an early offer, right? Or you can opt to compete. That would be the third way, right? So you can look at the older listings or ones that don't have sellers have not set offer review dates. You can submit a compelling offer on that house that you don't want to lose. And hopefully you can convince the seller to take your offer before their offer review date so you don't have to compete. Because it's almost all these situations with competitions, so many of them wind up with a cash offer. It's impossible to beat cash. Really, right. Really tough. So that's why we're having this conversation. So the other way you can try to purchase a home is you can submit an offer on the offer review date. A lot of people do that at first in the spring or in the winter. And a lot of people are doing that right now. We don't see a lot of early offers coming in yet. But what happens when you submit an offer review date is you're going to need to, you're probably going to need to include an escalation clause that will allow your offer to go up in certain increments to a maximum amount that you're willing to pay for that home. So let's say the house is listed for $1 million. You may choose to do $10,000 or $20,000 increments, and you may top out at $1.1 million. That's just an example, not necessarily what you would do, but it's certainly one thing you could do. You could also take your increment, and if you're competing against cash, make it different. So if you're competing against another financed offer, then maybe you're just doing $10,000 increments. But let's say you're competing against cash. $10,000 might not be enough. So do 20, 25. Beat that cash offer and be fully underwritten, right? So again, you're going to get fully underwritten so you look like cash, but you won't be cash. So you'll have to beat that cash offer by a little bit more. So that's one thing you want to consider submitting with your offer when you're competing. The other thing is the additional down, the 22AD addendum. So that is your offer to cover the seller in case of a low appraisal. Because this is early in the year, there is a chance that there could be some low appraisals out there. Now, if there's multiple offers, the listing agent will likely put a list of offers on the table for the appraiser to see. so that they can see that the price is well substantiated, but there were a lot of people willing to pay over asking price. So it's not a guarantee that there'll be a low appraisal. It probably won't, but it still makes the seller feel more comfortable if you're offering to cover that difference in cash you would have to bring to closing. So an AD is an important thing. Hopefully the seller has provided an inspection report. If they have not, you are going to have an early inspection. You're going to have an inspection before that offer review date. You're going to pay for it. It's about $300 for a cursory walkthrough verbal inspection. It's closer to $600 if you get a full-on, fully written inspection with photos and explanations and things. So that's what you would expect to spend. Unfortunately, in a competition, there may be quite a few people having inspections and you'll be competing against those. But at least at that point, you can feel confident waiving your inspection if nothing comes up major, right? So, and so you can also, you can also increase your earnest money, just like you would for a compelling offer, knowing that the seller can't keep more than 5%. So that's another way just to make your offer look stronger. It just shows you got cash in the bank, right? So it's all going to go towards the purchase of the home, and the seller can only keep 5% of the purchase price if for some reason you default without legal excuse. So that's another good way to strengthen your offer when you're competing. So some of the other things you can do is you can kind of, you can have your agent call the listing broker and they can, ask questions like, how soon does the seller want to close? So you can also, shorten escrow. Some people do 2 weeks. If they're fully through underwriting, you can do that. Right, Dan?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
So, if you're not fully through underwriting, you don't have that capability. So again, you're looking a lot more like cash. But that's another thing you can kind of, try to make the seller happy with the closing date. So whether that's a little longer closing or a little shorter closing. I don't really like you letting sellers occupy the home after it closes. I think that's not the right thing to do. I think it can create problems. Yeah. So that's one thing I would not encourage people to do. Let's see. So I think we've just about covered everything.
I think that does.
Yeah. I think that's about it, Dan. That's what I wanted to say about the different ways of looking at homes and submitting offers. So it's 3 ways, right? You can look at homes that have not set offer review dates or have been on the market longer, than maybe 30 or 60 days. You can submit a compelling offer on a listing that has set an offer review date, or you can opt to compete. My least favorite of the 3, you're not going to like competing, guys. Don't do it. You don't have to. I would submit the early offer, and I know that's a bold move, and maybe you have to lose a few houses before you actually see that every single time there's a stinking cash offer. Get fully underwritten, right? Thank you, Carlos. Right. I love the hearts. Get fully underwritten with your lender. Big deal. It might take them a couple of weeks. If you need somebody that can do it faster, call Dan.
We are lickety split.
He likes to volunteering for that because it does take some doing to get somebody fully underwritten. You guys got to provide all your documentation right away. That's how you have to do it. So you don't want to wait till the house comes along that you want to write an early offer on. And when you're writing an early offer, guys, we got to do it right away. They ain't no sitting on the lawn for a couple of days. You got to write it now. So you're going to get out and see that thing right away. If there's no inspection on it, you're getting that inspected. And then you're submitting hopefully second day before anybody else does.
I'll throw in one more advantage. If you do have, if you are pre-underwritten, and you're going to have the capability to close faster from when your offer gets accepted, all that kind of stuff, right? The pricing actually improves. So you do save some money on it because it's a shorter lock period. So you do have some advantages to do that way.
There you go.
There you go. Some financial advantages. Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but every little bit counts,
Yeah.
So on that note,
I'm going to say one more thing. I want to make one more comment, John. So the other thing that's really important when you're looking for a buyer broker is you want to make sure that buyer broker can get along with other agents or get along with other brokers. That is key to your success in getting a home you want, because your broker needs to make the listing broker like them.
That's right.
That's really important for a good working relationship. So make sure you're working with someone that is likable, and has integrity, right?
Right.
So, anyway, that's all I want to say on that.
Okay, Forrest.
Anyway, you guys have any questions for me? We're about to end. Shoot me some questions. We don't have any more material.
We're out.
Yeah. No, I did actually. I can't look at my phone because I'm actually streaming on it. But it was something. The responses from the agents today on how many offers they were getting, and how far over asking they were going.
Yeah.
There was like 5 agents that said they only got 1 or 2 offers and they didn't go far over asking for the ones that had set offer review dates. But there was a whole host of them that had seven or more offers. So including a beautiful horse property in Snohomish, a lot of people got 7 offers or more this go around. And I can't say for sure how many yet, because not every agent has responded to me so far, but I assume that I'll get some more responses this afternoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
but it's an interesting market right now, and it's heating up quickly.
We're in the buying season.
We are in the buying season, but you can still buy without competing. So just keep that in mind.
Right.
So,
well, on that note, Kat, thank you very much. You brought the heat this week. You brought a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of information to get out there. I'm glad we kind of powered through it quickly. Yes. So I think it was good. Lots of good information.
A lot of good information.
A lot of thinking this week for everybody, so that we could try to inform everybody as to what's actually happening in the market and not making wild guesses.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to next week. It's going to be a big week. Big weekend.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye. Hi, Harley. Bye, Harley. Bye, Carlos.